Tesla's make or break Robotaxi event is so very near now, and every day it seems there are more clues as to what we might expect. What kind of partnerships might be announced? A fun one is when McDonald's sent out some cryptic post. Is this just a marketing stunt? Could this suggest a Tesla Eats delivery service or a demo food pickup? Or might this mean a Tesla bot partnership? I'm Herbert Ong.
I'm Alexandra.
I'm Cern Basher.
I'm Jeff Lutz.
I'm Xander Scott.
All right, everybody. So this is very, very close to the Robotaxi event. We're going to talk about this fun one, whether or not you guys think there might actually be something with the McDonald's partnership. But the big topic is what kind of other partnerships might be coming along. And 1010, the institutional analysts are thinking that there's going to be a $25,000 car show up. I don't know where they got that idea from. I don't know what likelihood, but what happens if it doesn't come? People will be again saying this missed expectations. We can talk about OpenAI and ARK Invest. Is the Cybertruck on track? And if we have time, we're going to review all the different bets and how we differ in our thinking. So let's get started with you, Alexandra. The McDonald's partnership came about as a rumor. And to the point that Kilowatts asked the question, is McDonald's 1010 announcement associated with Tesla, or is it just something else? 25% think that it's connected to Tesla and 75% completely separate. What happened was McDonald's sent out this tweet saying that W's in the chat if you think chicken belongs to... Actually, this is afterwards. They showed this afterwards. Wait, I'm a little... This is it. They sent this out first. Chat's about to pop off on 1010. They had this bag, it said 1010, and then Elon actually laughed at that. And if you look closer, there's actually people like the marketing director who also said something that is not a Big Mac is coming to McDonald's. And people are saying, hey, look, Elon even followed him. But if you look at this actually happened in August. So is this just a marketing thing? Even Omia Dafshar, a Tesla executive, also weighed in. So you're saying that you want a cyber spoon. What do you think is happening?
First of all, Elon was always a friend of Jack in the Box, right? Wasn't it Jack in the Box where he always got his cheapest meal? So would be a little bit surprised if he would give any, prime time to McDonald's, but who knows? I think this is a nothing burger, a nothing McDonald's burger, or however you want to call it. I have the feeling there is, there may be some spin, who knows? But I don't expect like the big announcement of a huge bot purchase by McDonald's on 1010. I don't expect any. I mean, maybe they send a taxi, pick up some burger takeout. Who knows? But I don't expect anything huge out of this. I think there is much more to come on 1010. We're going to discuss that, and the McDonald's story is just going to die.
The company and the product. I don't look at the quarterly stock movement.
A very realistic bull, questioning certain decisions.
The rational bull. I enjoy listening to bears.
Looking for the red flags. You're supposed to react.
The longer term opportunity for Tesla is like no other company that I've ever seen.
If you look a little closer to this bag and this room, it says 1010. It says KC number 3 over here. One, not a Big Mac, fries, and Sprite. And then
not a flamethrower. Mm-hmm.
Not a flamethrower. But if you look at the room, this looks like the streamer. What's this guy's name? The streamer. He is this guy here.
Yo, chat! It's here. Oh my gosh. Oh.
I can start
Yo,
in the chair.
What? It's a chicken Big Mac, yo. I'm telling y'all, it's not a Big Mac. October 10th. Pull up.
Yeah, so that's all it is, right? It's just that. It's just basically...
Yeah, and that looks like a double chicken sandwich, doesn't it? I mean, I'm not a real...
That's why it's not a Big Mac.
Right?
Yeah.
So
It's just genius marketing from McDonald's to use the 1010 event, and that's why Elon found it funny, and that's why he follows, because it's just a genius move from McDonald's to piggyback.
Okay, well, some people are saying that possibly... You can, if you look at the McDonald's, it's very near Warner Brothers. It's about a 6-minute drive. So maybe they're going to drive there, pick up a food, and then that guy will stream it live as part of his marketing. That I could see as possibly happening. What do you guys think?
Oh, this is cute.
That is. With logos.
So, I mean, there's a number of possibilities. that this could be. It could be nothing. I do think McDonald's could be an interesting partner on a couple of levels. One could be with supercharging and some sort of partnership there. The other thing could be on humanoid robots. There's a big, I think, debate that's brewing, which is, the food industry. I'm not going to get into this. It could be its own episode in terms of automation, but there's a big move happening in fast food, fast casual around automation of repetitive, laborious tasks. You're seeing a lot happening with Chipotle and others. So there could be something on the line, because we're kind of at this precipice here of humanoid robot development. It's really accelerated. It started, honestly, Tesla really kicked this into high gear a couple of years ago. And now you've got, 25 plus manufacturers, maybe, double that. And there is this line where, do you install this bulky, very long to bring up, only fits in one site type of automation, or can you move these tasks to humanoids that can be rapidly retrained? And, if you shut down one location, open another one, you can more readily move these things. So there could be something there. We're starting to enter that window where if you're thinking about automation in your company and you see what Tesla is doing, the earlier you get in, the better deal that you're going to get. The longer you wait, the more valuable this technology is going to become. So I do think we're, like I've talked about with FSD and those partnerships, I do also think we're entering a window as it relates to Tesla. Now, Tesla can do their own testing inside of their own factories, but I think it's more of on Tesla's terms in terms of when they want to partner with Optimus. But there could be something there. I do think Optimus is going to play a role on 1010.
Anybody disagree or agree with him?
I disagree regarding the supercharging, but then because I think about restaurants wanting to turn tables, but then again, having them there is possible. But I really think if McDonald's would partner, I think it's all about the robots, and just like what they did. If you watch that movie, was it The Founder, and that shake machine it was a key to the business. So maybe something with robots. I think I agree with her.
Cern?
I don't think that this has anything to do with Tesla's event. Now, having said that, I think this is actually an incredible opportunity for McDonald's to position themselves in a way that's very forward-thinking, futuristic, right? It's clear, as Jeff said, that humanoid robots will play a very important role in virtually every business. And so this is actually an opportunity for McDonald's. And if they don't take this opportunity to properly position their company for the future, I think it's a big mistake.
Yeah, I lean towards that it's just a nothing burger. Thank you, Alexandra. I think he followed the chief marketing officer of McDonald's, but that was in August after Guilherme made a joke. This is their marketing thing. All he did, Elon, was reply with a laugh, right? The laughing emoji. So it wasn't anything more than that. And then the other Tesla executives, again, they kind of made a joke about it. I think that, I lean in that direction, but boy, like you guys were saying, it makes so much sense for McDonald's to come out and say, there's a partnership in the future, because there's so many things you guys just said, right? Supercharger, a robot, at least reserving robots to be a future partner or a pilot site. The event itself, 1010 event, I've been saying it's got to have some sort of big demo that really shows what this is all about. So when Steve Jobs did the iPhone event and he presented the iPhone, remember that moment when he actually picked up the phone, called a pizza joint, and he ordered all these pizzas to be delivered to everybody and said, oh, I'm just joking. A real phone call connected with a real person on the other end. And it was like the whole audience just ate it up because it showed you this is real. This phone really does work. In the same way, partnering with this streamer to actually show that he can be picked up and he can be delivered with the food from that. I don't think there's going to be a Tesla Eats. I don't think that it's going to be, something like Uber Eats. I think is way down the future. But boy, there's so many different partnerships here. So it would be great if they did announce some sort of partnership here for both the bot and the autonomy. Yeah.
Can I add one last thing on the superchargers? McDonald's is a franchise, one of the biggest and most successful franchises in the world. So each McDonald's, I mean, there are some of them that are still corporate, but most of them are held by franchise owners. And I've actually helped a couple of them acquire the sites. Well, not the sites, that's exactly what I want to do. Most of them are actually rented space. So the franchise owners hardly have decision power whether Tesla superchargers would be put in the parking. I just want to put that there. This is not something that corporate can decide.
Yeah, Alexandra, this is actually the unique thing about McDonald's. They own the real estate. So
not all of them.
Well, but like a vast majority, isn't that accurate? Or
but from the corporate stores, yes, but from the franchisees, no.
No. My understanding is that most of the McDonald's, they place them in sites that they own, and they lease it back to the franchise.
Oh, you mean the ground owner could be McDonald's corporate? Oh,
yes,
that's another game. Yeah, that's possible.
Yes,
I don't know that.
And so then I was thinking while you guys were talking about how like Domino's, I think, is the only company that still delivers directly. I know Chipotle uses all the Uber Eats and DoorDash and all of those. What if the partnership is this, like the direct to consumer, using the Robotaxi network to, like Herbert said, it's far down the line, but wouldn't it be great if the first partner is someone like McDonald's, and then this synergy can occur all the way down to robots and delivery and superchargers and solar panels on the roofs of the restaurants. So it's there's opportunity here, definitely.
I mean, I think the biggest opportunity, and now we're moving away from McDonald's, is if it's a robotaxi with a bot inside. If the bot can actually do the last step delivery, because that is the big thing that doesn't work yet, right? So if there would be an Amazon van full of packages and the bot is in the van and the bot can determine what's the next parcel is and bring it out of the van and put it on the doorstep, I think that would be, that real ChatGPT moment of delivery.
Yeah, last mile delivery. Good call.
Well, it's actually last mile.
Yeah, last
yards or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So McDonald's, very good conversation there. Most of us, I think, is thinking it just could be a marketing thing, but if it is a partnership, so wouldn't it be great if Tesla did come out, right? This is one for the history books. This is We Robot. So a lot of different, both the car autonomy as well as maybe the bot. If they did make these announcements, and so let's list out the kinds of announcements they can do, right? So this is a nice bingo card that Cern put together. And here, I can see here, you've got, let's say, you got an FSD licensee announced. So this is a car company that's just licensing FSD from Tesla. Then you've got, the rideshare partner announced. So something like an Uber or some sort of other company that is able to, Hertz says, we're going to buy a bunch of Tesla robot taxis, or we're going to lease it from you, and then we're going to be the ones to manage that as a fleet manager, right? There could be a bot partnership announced, like we were saying. Maybe it is McDonald's, maybe it's some other company. It could be a complete, beyond just FSD, it could be a whole new robotaxi partnership. What other partnerships can you guys imagine might be announced?
The key one that comes to my mind is a partnership with a snack beverage company. And given Tesla's relationship with Pepsi, that would be an interesting extension. If you're going to be in a robotaxi, a lot of people would like a drink or a snack. And to me, that actually is more likely kind of announcement for partnership than is McDonald's, although I think both are possible at some point. The other way to look at it is look at all the different expense items in the robotaxi venture, and particularly if you have individual owners using their vehicles in the robotaxi network. Insurance partnership might be interesting. I know Tesla provides insurance in some states, but not all states. So an insurance partnership is possible. Even a financial partner is possible, particularly for those people that are looking to purchase multiple vehicles to put in a robotaxi network. A cleaning partner could be something, although maybe Tesla will resolve that themselves. So just some of those ideas as you go down the different expenses. I think there could be some logical partners that slot into those categories.
I didn't see on it's a good bingo card, by the way. It's really thoughtful. Did I miss the Tesla network being announced? Because that one I think I've been talking about it. I think could happen where they announce a supervised network. Maybe I missed it.
Human operated ride hail is right here.
Yeah.
Human operated ride hail. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think they're going to brand it. Yeah. The Tesla network.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a likely option, but we'll see. Could be wrong. To me, if you're thinking about the event and you're walking away from the event, like what are these things that could be announced? I don't know if Tesla's a big, huge, partnership type company. I don't know if they have maybe someone correct me. I know there's things they've done in the past, with Hertz and others, and then it didn't work out as well. Hertz over purchase, but, and then there was obviously they bought everything at the peak pricing. But anyway, I think coming out of this event, I think what's nice is there's a number of options. And even over the last couple of weeks, my thoughts on it have even changed. But to me, success looks like, as Herbert said, something imminent, something that people could get their hands on pretty soon. So I think a supervised Tesla network is important. I think the new Optimus showing that would be really important. And then showing just not showing the bot, but showing why you went to the 22 degrees of freedom and having it do something that it probably could not have done before. And could it be this demo of getting out of a car and walking up and delivering a package, or could it be playing the piano, or could it be just a number of different things? So I have heard some discussions that there is work to prepare an Optimus demo for this event. I don't know. Maybe, there's people that are spotted or, working in the area on it. So there's been conversations. Who knows what's going to happen? I certainly don't know. But Tesla Network, Optimus, of course, showing the Robotaxi. And this is the thing that's kind of new for me that I've been thinking about. Tesla's been working for years and this is what the compact vehicle is going to be. It's going to be this series of modules that they've been working on for a couple of years, probably north of 2 years, in terms of design, development, release to production. And they're working on the pricing now and ramping these components up, these new modules, the new motor, the new battery packs, and so forth. And you saw something today that Alexandra shared on new packs for 26. What I think Tesla has done is they have now, think about just dragging down the cost structure of all these major modules. And I think what they're doing is they're unlocking the ability for them to do these multiple form factor type vehicles. So I do think we're going to see a two-seater type vehicle, but I do think we could see multiple vehicle types. It is possible that we see it. And I think what they've done now is with this platform is, if you look at the cost per kilowatt hour on battery packs, if you look at a sub $1,000 electric motor, if you look at the progress they've been able to make over a number of years, I think what they've been able to do now is unlock the ability for them to do multiple concurrent products in development, use these modules, assemble them. Unbox gets you more than just this low assembly time and so forth. It also gives them a level of platforming. Either 3 and Y are highly platformed, but I think it gives them the ability to change over in both in design and production that they haven't had before. So my big takeaway that I'm adding is the probability of multiple vehicle types being shown.
Yeah.
Do we still think that the network is going to be called Auto, AUTO? I do too.
It's a good name. Just on the topic of partnerships, Uber has come up many times, right? And Uber has about 45 million users in the United States. So, if you want immediate access to people that already use rideshare, that's pretty logical. But you know what? There's another really obvious partner that I haven't heard anybody mention. And that's X. There's 100 million people in the United States that use X. 1 in 3 people in the US use X. Why not just make the rideshare app that Tesla has a part of X? You don't even have to download a different app. It's just turned on.
Because they
on
don't
X.
have the money transmitter license yet. Today, actually yesterday, they got it in the 38th state, and there's 1 or 2 states where you actually don't need one. So we're about at 40 out of 50 or 51.
Well,
but it may be a little bit too early yet. But I agree with you. That's coming.
But Elon already mentioned, and he already said, he already said this, it's going to be built into the Tesla app. That was already announced. That was already part of it.
Well, the Tesla app's great, but you have another 100 million people that have an X app.
Yeah.
Build it there too.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yep.
Just to clarify, Jeff, when I say partnership, I also mean customers. So, an Uber would be a partner. McDonald's would be a customer, and
Right.
there's all kinds of customers that they could announce. And I think I think when we had this conversation before, I think most of us on this panel, we don't actually think that they're going to announce any partners or customers. It's just a nice to be, but nice to have if that happened. But boy, so the most likely thing is this idea that 2 or 3 large automakers is going to step up and say, we are partner for FSD license. To me, that's the most important one. That's the one that needs to happen and the most likely. He said it might happen by the end of this year. But boy, if they did a Robotaxi event, a We Robot event, and then they announced this partnership with a large automaker later, just fine. But boy, if they announce it at this event, nails it. We really are the platform of the future. This is it,
Yeah, I have a comment in that I do think there is way more to the story than what we've been told in terms of why this moved from 8.8 to 10.10.
Okay.
I actually
No, it's the front. It's the front, Jeff.
Huh?
Do you remember? It's the front.
I'm going to keep you on the edge of your seat. I don't buy. So first off, you can do a tooling if there's a tooling change that's needed. I didn't like there's things you heard in Bloomberg, and he didn't like this or that. That's fine. You can make a tooling change. But if Tesla needed to get 3 of these or 5 of these ready for an event, they have unbelievable machine shop capability in their factories, like in Texas, like unbelievable capability. I think they could have done what they needed to do in short order and could have had it ready. Like these are conversations they were probably having in June, July, if they did need to make a form factor change on the product. So I get it for production. I can see why production could be shifted out because of this change that's needed. I don't get why a demo event would be, nor we've done this before. It's like demo event, like if you have to make a quick change, you go in and you make a quick change and you use methods that are not production methods. You can't do them at scale, but you could certainly do them so you can produce the form factor of the product you want for a demo event. So I think something else. So I'll put it out there. I think there's something else. It was a confluence of events. Maybe he did want to make a change to the product, but I think there's other things that are happening. That's why Elon did drop that. This will allow us to maybe show off a few other things by doing it on 10.10. So I do not think that there is a singular reason why we moved from 8.8 to 10.10. And I don't buy the fact that it was just the form factor change in the product. I'm not saying Tesla's lying, by the way. I'm just saying that they have methods to be able to do that change much more quickly than other players. And for a demo event, you would do that internally.
Except if it's wireless. If it's for wireless charging, that's not just a form factor change of how it looks. You actually have to install new technology, and maybe he thought that would be that wraps up the whole service. Like this is a true robotaxi. It can even charge itself. Like if you watch any of the bot demos, one of the things everybody's looking for is can the bot actually dock itself to a charging station, charge itself, and then continue working again by itself.
Well,
Maybe
I think we're getting like overly
story.
precise here. I doubt Tesla's adding, making decisions on that kind of functionality, 1 or 2 weeks before the event, but whatever, it could be anything.
Herbert's, that's one of the possibilities, but it's probably just red tape. Some attorney didn't get some agreement, if we're talking partnerships, back, and then there you go. There's a delay. We're not agreement wasn't signed. It'll be signed XYZ. It's a possibility.
Yeah, or Tesla didn't like the status of a current agreement. Said, "Fine, we're not doing it," and that could have been part of a negotiation. We're all speculating; we don't know.
Yeah.
But just I wanted to change something in the Robotaxi. I've seen this thing before, and I know they have tremendous capability internally, rapid capability internally. I don't think that drove 8 weeks. It would drive 8 weeks for production. I'm not doubting that. I'm talking about for an event. So I think there's something else up, and I think we'll find out.
And they probably have been laughing their heads off how we were all fed that. The one thing I wanted to call out is, you all know Julien Villamasson. He's a pilot. He was at a lot of Tesla events. His let me just check his X handle. It's Julien VM. And he put out a very interesting thread of what he expects. Now, this guy is genius. I've talked to him quite a lot. He's a pilot, but he's also in a lot of satellite businesses and stuff. Very, very forward-thinking guy. And he expects that there will be the two-seater for the public usage, but there will also be a delivery van, no windows, no nothing, just completely stackable for deliveries, with a bot in it that has the charger for the bot in it. And then once the merchandise is in it, the bot organizes this all. The car drives from destination to destination. The bot does the last yard delivery and keeps on going. I mean, if we see a thing like that, the future is happening. I mean, nobody expects anything in that register. And who knows? Maybe that's what we're going to see.
Yeah, I interviewed him, so
yeah, you know, Julien.
I know him, but yeah, I'm the guy who's gonna put a little damper. He says, believe it or not, okay, the bot's not ready. It's not gonna be able to do these things that you're expecting it to do. I don't think that's what they're gonna show. They're gonna show. Okay, so we'll get to the point about what I think we're gonna show, but just what you guys talked about right now, just not gonna. It's too early for the bot to be able to be shown to do something like that. So. One thing, yeah.
How do you know?
I just again, this is my opinion.
They can't do a demo.
They can do demos.
The bot is walking. We know the bot is walking. We know the bot has hands that are operational. Why wouldn't he be in a van?
You can do a demo, not inside the van, not going to get out of the van, and it's just highly risk it for it to fall. But if you want to do a demo outside the van, picking up a package and placing it, there's many bot companies that have shown that demo. I just think at this point that they are not going to show the third generation of the bot. That's not ready. That will be the end of the month if we're lucky. The end of the year.
It's robots. It's not iRobot.
No. So I think that they're going to show the existing robot. And in fact, I think they're going to show multiple different form factors of robots just to show you that they're there. There's a C-3PO, Tesla Optimus, and then you're going to see the R2-D2 and maybe a third version, just to show you that we are robotics AI company and we can power any kind of form factor. I'll also talk about what I'm saying about the kind of variations of Robotaxi platform and multiple form factors there. But this idea that you're going to have the bot walk inside or be inside the van and walk out and rearrange things, that's just too complicated of a demo that they can't even do today.
Let me ask you another question. Why is capacity so limited?
Capacity so limited?
Yeah, why is there only such a small number?
Why don't I have an invite is the question.
I saw a lot of invites going out on X, by the way.
So why is it? Because, I mean, Warner Brothers, the park itself, there are thousands of people every day in there. So it can't be, right? Security for Elon?
Mm-hmm.
Well, for all,
maybe.
I'm still thinking that it is a demo. In order for it to be done, it can't just be an unveil of a product. You need to be able to hail the cab, get in the cab, and drive it. Just like when they did the Cybertruck unveil, then they said, go out there and everybody line up. And then when it's your turn, a Cybertruck, you can go inside of it and you can, be driven or drive one. It's got to be something similar. So maybe that's what they're going to do. Is a limited group of people are able to hail a Robotaxi, go to a location of your choice in the Warner Brothers studio, the pharmacy, the house here, or whatever it is. And that's how you feel like it truly is a Robotaxi. event, a robotaxi demo.
Okay, two more questions, Herbert. You may be completely right, and I'm over enthusiastic. Why does it start at 7 o'clock, which means it's going to be pitch black? And why is it 21 plus? Does that mean that there's going to be a party, alcohol, and all that? Well, what are these two?
I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, other than presentation wise, like it's much more cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
The other events were
Cyberpunk.
There were some other events too that were 21 plus, I think.
Yeah.
And what did
these are all-
they serve? Did they serve alcohol in those?
Yeah, semi-event.
I think the answer could be that part of the excitement is that when you go inside a robotaxi, it's going to be entertainment, a lounge. And so wouldn't it be great if you actually had like drinks and you had a TV and you can actually watch and you feel like this wasn't an actual, I'm just being driven by a taxi. It's like an actual experience, like a fun lounge.
Possible.
It's like the Oscars. It's like the Uber Oscars.
Hey, so let's go back to Cern's bingo card. Do you have one on there for a Grok command prompt inside of the Robotaxi? There is? Okay,
Yes.
Grok in vehicle.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
That's another big one.
down here. I totally
Up and
agree.
down,
That's got
Good
to happen.
job, Cern. Good
Got to
job.
happen.
I haven't missed anything. Everything is on this card.
Yeah, and Grok in vehicle, it could start with a command prompt, right? Because we haven't heard Grok voice yet, but they could have voice running in the lab.
You don't
for all
have
we
the
know.
van. Do you have the
Minivan,
van?
yeah, here it is.
Where?
RoboVan unveiled.
Oh yeah, you got everything.
Yeah. Let me.
hey.
And there's more than one card too. We'll get there in a second, but there's more than one.
So I want to quickly share a brief story. I just went and got my hair cut, and I've only had FSD on the Cybertruck for a little while. This was my second ride. I took one out in the middle of the, as soon as I got it at midnight on the 31st or the 30th, and this was the second time. And yeah, I don't go anywhere. But I pushed the go button, go take me there button in the driveway. It went out. It did everything flawlessly. I had an unprotected left turn. I didn't do anything, and then I actually saved the footage. But at the very end, it actually pulled like halfway into the parking spot, so I could just totally see them linking the two together. Auto park with FSD, and then I was literally door to door today, and that's the first time it's been that good on a giant truck. And people are saying that, oh, it's a good first iteration, but I was just so blown away. I had to find a spot here to tell the story. So I just think this Robotaxi thing is like super legit, and we're gonna see it. We're gonna see it on 1010.
It's great.
Okay, one of the things I want to talk about with you guys is to clarify our bets. We can do that later in the end, but since we're already talking about what we're expecting, okay, what I'm expecting for the bot, so it's a We Robot. So there's going to be both a platform for cars, Robotaxi, and a platform for bots. And I can go through exactly what I think is going to happen there. But before we do that, let's talk about, is there going to be a $25,000 car? Because the reason why this is important is that so many institutional analysts keep saying there's going to be a $25,000 car there. What if there isn't? And who here thinks that there will be?
I think the Robotaxi will be that vehicle.
Oh, you think it's the
Sold?
same?
Sold?
The Robotaxi
Sorry?
will be sold to the general public?
No. Oh, I see what you're saying. So I believe the next generation vehicle will come in multiple forms. And like I explained earlier, I'm not going to reiterate it, but the work they've done on the modules and then what they're going to do with Unbox is going to enable multiple sub $30,000 vehicle types. I don't know where these interim vehicles are going to fall. I think people are have these overly optimistic views of them. But I think they can be somewhere between where the 3 and Y are and the 25K vehicle. By the way, the 25K vehicle won't be 25K on day one, in my opinion, because they've got to get it to scale, and that's going to take them a period of time to do. Pulling these modules forward into this interim vehicle is going to help do that. So I think they're going to, I think there will be an unveil of a 25K vehicle. And I think it will be in multiple form factors. I do think there will be a Robotaxi version and versions for consumers. We'll see.
Meaning steering
think
wheel,
these cars
no
will-
steering wheel? Sorry, go ahead.
The Robotaxi will, I don't believe will have a steering wheel. The version for consumers will.
And you believe the unveil of the multiple options will be here on the 1010? I don't believe that at all.
I do.
No, I think they're going to focus on the Robotaxi on 1010. And I don't think they're going to show vehicle. So the interim vehicles that are supposed to ramp in the first half, if they're not ready to ramp by the end of this year, I don't see Tesla showing them, because all that would do is Osborne, 500,000 units in the fourth quarter.
Exactly it.
So
Yeah,
I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I agree. I don't expect to see the interim vehicle. You call them interim vehicles, but these are the more affordable vehicles based on the same production line. Here's what I wanted to clarify with you guys, what I've been saying all this time, just so that we're very clear of what it is I'm saying, okay? So most people believe that this is the kind of, sorry about pixelation, the Cybercab that's going to come out, right? A two-seater, correct? Scissor doors, compact, because they're optimizing for cost. And I don't think that's what they're going to do. That's our big bet, right? I can be very, very wrong. I'm very likely wrong, because almost everybody believes that that's the case. Some sort of small vehicle that is optimized for small.
Hell no.
Cyber look, okay? This is what they're looking for. I just want to remind
No.
people that in Boring Company, this is what they show. Just their own design. This is Tesla's design. I don't think this is what we're going to see at all, but I'm just saying this is a design that they created. I've been saying that it's going to be more like this, but actually very, very small, like smaller than this, not as big as this. This is a Zoox, minivan doors, but this is more like what I'm expecting, right? So it's the same smaller car, but you have two-seaters, or you can have four-seaters just like this. So this front here, you don't need this.
So you expect it to look like the Zoox, or you expect it to
More
look
like this. Yeah, like this. And here's why. Take a look at the unboxed model, right? So the unboxed model is they can create a back, a rear, they can create a front. Now I'm saying, why do you need a rear and a front? Why not just have two rears and put them all exactly the same on the other side? You don't need the driver's side. You don't need any of this steering wheel. You don't need a front frunk. You just need exactly what and back. So the front and the back are one part, and then that gets you to the low cost. Now you can add multiple middle parts. And so that's why I'm thinking that they're going to show you a two-seater that could become a four-seater. Then it can become a six-seater, it can become 8-seater. So it's a platform to show you we can create any kind of vehicle just by growing it this way. That's why I think that it makes most sense for it to look more like this than it would like the ones we showed you at the beginning. Like, why do you need to have it to look like that?
Because they will.
And by the way, if you order an Uber,
never, ever will they make an ugly car like that. Never.
No,
ever.
these are ugly. But I want to ask you this question, right? Because you guys kept saying, "Oh, there's going to be a compact car." Well, because 90% of all ride hail is with one passenger, and another 5% to 95% is two people. That's why. Well, when you order a ride hail today and you order an Uber, what comes to you? A car that seats four. There's a driver, there's a front passenger, there's people in the back. So why not flip it and still have the same kind of car? Why do you need to make it compact? You don't need to. You can actually just make it a little bit the same.
Wrong. First principle is completely wrong. Where are you going? Your old world. What are you doing?
Okay.
Herbert? How old are you?
Herbert, what's your problem?
Well, sorry,
Did you fall?
keep
Did
going.
you hit your head?
Okay, tell me. Am I wrong? Yeah, I could be
You're
wrong.
thinking.
I want to
about
let
the United
Alexander
States.
go.
Okay,
You're
go.
thinking about the United States. I think about the world. We're like a compact vehicle in the UK or some of the Asian countries. Like Sat always talks about how Japan, what size vehicles they need there. So when you were talking, all I heard was like, wait, you're forgetting about this other part of the market that Tesla services.
So you're saying that a compact car is needed for the rest of the world?
It is.
Of course.
A small car is used in Europe.
I'm not saying it's going to be a big car. I'm saying it's going to be a small car. I'm just saying that it should be able to fit four people if you decide to go that route. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, first of all,
It's like this.
Elon, they're all about beauty, right? There is no Tesla that has ever been ugly, and there will be no Tesla.
Oh, it's going to be beautiful. Did I say it's going to be ugly?
No, this box thing is.
Oh, it's not going to look like this at all. Oh, no. This is super
Well, that's
ugly.
what you now said 3 times.
No.
that it look like that.
Be clear. I'm not saying it's going to look like this. Of course not. Of course not.
And it's not going to be a 4-seater. They are
there you go.
focused on bringing
This is what I'm saying.
transportation down, but also costs down. Why would they build a 4-seater when 90% of the market needs a 2-seater? And I don't believe a second that I mean, I'm not saying there will not be a 4-seater, but the 4-seater is a derivative of the initial 2-seater.
Here's the unlock. The way you're going to get the cost structure down is bringing the mass way down. And you don't, in going back to a first principles perspective, you don't want to be heating, cooling, all this mass that's this unused mass in the vehicle. So I do think they're going to make that step, and they're going to launch that vehicle. And that's the unlock, that you're going to be able to get a sub 50 kilowatt hour battery in the vehicle. And you're going to be able to have electric motors that don't have to move that much mass. You're going to be able to take, copper windings, a bunch of different things you're going to be able to do to just reduce complexity and reduce costs of the vehicle. So I think this vehicle is going to be optimized for very low mass, very high safety. And I think that's going to be the unlock from a cost structure perspective. The other thing is, I think it would be unrealistic to think the world is just going to flip over to robotaxis and not want to drive cars again. I think for years that people are going to want to buy and drive conventional vehicles. And if they can get access to a safe vehicle, a compact Tesla, they're going to do it. And I think Tesla is going to build a compact model via Unboxed that is drivable as well as a robotaxi.
Agreed.
But we'll see.
So
and I think there'll be multiple models of robotaxi. Sorry.
This is the Unboxed
Inside.
model. And so if you want a drivable model, you put that front. But if you want a robotaxi model, you have a totally different. So that's a good discussion right there. I think that the robotaxi is going to know nothing at all like the drivable model. That's going to be compact, like whatever. It's nothing that, it's going to be the same car, but this one doesn't have the steering wheel. It's a different inside. No, it's going to be completely different. The robotaxi, it's completely different use cases versus the drivable model. That's like, doesn't make sense to me. So.
Jeff, do you like what Herbert said regarding the modularity of the seating? Like my business partner, he's got 6 children. He wants big. He wants a van or whatever. But do we like this idea of you can just snap together like little Legos, a 6-seater, or you want an 8-seater? We'll give you a little longer version. But by that center portion being modular in this Unboxed model.
Yeah, unfortunately, with mass that is moving like this, that there's all these safety requirements. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to do things like this, but it's not impossible. So what am I saying? I do believe that there will be different size robotaxis, and I do believe that there will be ones for larger capacity transport. But I do think that they're going to start to get the cost structure in line to be able. The only way you ramp a robotaxi network is you got to get the cost structure down of the whole thing. And I think that's a lot of what's been fundamentally missing from Tesla's competitors. In terms of the modularity, what you're going to get in Unboxed is you're going to be able to produce and do. You're not going to have to do you're not going to need different lines per se to produce different vehicles. You're going to do the changeover in the module process. You're not going to have to do this massive changeover in all the different fixed capital on the line to be able to produce the product. But in terms of like inserting Lego pieces in and out, that's a little bit more difficult to do when you have these, requirements, from a safety perspective and performance perspective to do. I'm not saying it's impossible. I do think that they'll have a higher level of platforming in it. So I'm not discounting it at all. I'm just saying that you're not going to just be able to, add a couple of like the leaf of a table. I don't believe it's going to work like that. Yeah. But it's an interesting, it'd be great from a supply chain perspective, but yeah. The big step is you're not going to have these dedicated lines anymore of like, I can only build 3s here. I can only build Ys here and S and X. You're going to be able to really be able to change over much more quickly, and you will get a much higher level of reuse between these models as well. So anyway.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So Herbert, you kind of went through your list of what you're going to see what we're going to see in the event. 10. Should others do that, or?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's
maybe exactly. A 30-second speed round, everybody.
That'd be great. Yeah.
I'm just suggesting. I'm not trying to.
Oh, I love it.
Go ahead. Jeff. Go ahead, because I don't have any ideas.
Okay, I said the smaller Robotaxi will be revealed. I believe we will see an updated Optimus. Optimus will make an appearance, whether it's the updated one, or I believe Optimus will make an appearance and it will show new functionality. Finally, I wouldn't be surprised if the Roadster made an appearance. Because of the convergence and the timing of the end of the year. Is it financially like a big deal for Tesla? No, but it's technologically a big deal for Tesla to bring back the supercar. We'll see, and then it's all just our guesses. There's no, and then I do think that there could be a partnership announcement, whether it's an FSD or whether it's an Optimus. There could be a partnership announcement. So, and finally, more than one Robotaxi type, but I don't know if they're going to have their prototypes ready or not. But there may be some sort of soft reveal of a larger version. We'll see. So in summary, we're going to see the Robotaxi. It's going to be a compact vehicle, I think 2-seater. Yeah. Optimus and maybe a Roadster unveil, a partnership unveil, and possibly another form factor of a Robotaxi. That's my list.
I would concur with Jeff precisely and add that I think I'm looking forward to seeing some interesting things on the software side. Right, Grok in the vehicle, it'd be great if you could speak to the vehicle. I think that would be a really cool experience and demo. And then just beyond that, the functionality of the app, I think it's going to be important to show that off.
I forgot the ride-hail. The biggest thing I've been talking about, the Tesla rideshare network. I forgot a supervised network will be announced. Sorry, Cern.
So I'll go next. I agree. Network, Grok. I thought that like the van announcement, which is what Jeff was alluding to, I think, doesn't Osborne any vehicles except maybe the Model X. But that, we could see the take rate and on that. What Cern said regarding snacks, I've been thinking about it the whole time. I'm just looking for Elon to switch to Diet Pepsi versus Diet Coke, and then we know that's the partnership, right? That's what I'm looking for. But I'd love to see the Optimus, and I'd expect to see the Optimus. I definitely want one vehicle or two, but for me, as soon as Jeff said Roadster, I just imagine the seeing a levitating Roadster, and that to me is just like I gotta have it. And so the question I have for you guys, and I want to hear, we can come back to it, is there going to be an opportunity to place any deposits at this event? That's what I'd love to see. I'd love to see the ability to put some money down on something.
I mean, you're completely wrong on the Roadster. Completely wrong. Yeah. I take that bet any day. I don't think they will dilute the attention on their Robotaxi by bringing something completely different there that would on top of it have this special effect, right? And there's no way. They want the press the next day to be focused on the network, the business model, how this is all going to play out, how many models are there going to be, but it's all going to be on that. And the cherry on the cake will be the bot having some active function and new functionality shown on that day. But that's it. I don't think they will go anywhere else. I think we actually will see the bot only in functions that are linked to the network. So either as a charging partner or as a delivery partner or whatever. I don't think we'll see the bot ironing my shirts or anything what we've seen so far. It will be very focused on how can the bot and the car coexist and increase
Integrate.
Functionality. Yeah.
Love it. I agree with you guys. I don't see the Roadster being unveiled. That's going to be its own separate presentation. It's going to be incredible. Yeah. It's going to be the best presentation you can ever have. It's going to blow you away. I still think that this is a We Robot presentation. They're going to show you multiple form factors of Robotaxi, multiple form factors of the bot. The focus is on the fact that this is neural network AI that can wake up one day in any of these form factors and it can give it a brain. And that's the focus is we are the robotics AI company, and here is our platform of what we're going to show you. There needs to be more than a demo. And so I don't know. I debate whether or not there's going to be some sort of like you can pull out your credit card and sign up for something, but there has to be something that has to be launched that is going to become in fruition, active. And I still am kind of like, we've been having fun about this. Do I think that there's going to be a human operated ride hail? I've been flipping back and forth now. I've been slowly being convinced, especially since a couple of days ago, Morgan Stanley, they themselves came out and said that there might be a human operated ride hail. ARK Invest has been saying it. You guys have all been saying it. So I've been just thinking about that. But for a national-wide ride hail service, it's important because it probably won't have Robotaxi, right, nationally until 2026. That's when the Robotaxi itself would be ready. So what do you do in the meantime? But boy, I sure still think it should be rolled out just like Waymo and Cruise, where you go city by city. And even you can do a city by city human operated ride hail. Just can't see that it's going to be like nationwide and we're going to compete with Uber without any kind of real differentiator. Maybe a slightly lower cost, but it's still expensive because you have a human there. Other than that, I think that's the only one. I'm like I said, I'm flip-flopping there. You guys are convincing me that I might be completely wrong in that one. But I feel strong that this is going to be a robotaxi, a robotics AI company, and that's the focus, right? It's like that's the area, and this is what ties everything we're doing together.
Yeah, I'm with you both on the dilution thing with the Roadster. If anything, it should be a separate event. Well, no, I think we all agree there could be some surprises. The question is, what are they? And yeah.
Do we see something there for Wall Street to sink their teeth into? Do we see the financials?
You've seen that Pierre Ferragut was invited, Dan Ives is invited. So they have thought about Wall Street. And they have chosen, obviously, in my view, the two analysts that are then the next morning on CNBC, and we'll talk about it. They were very strategic in who they invited, and they were in the first slot. So yes, I'm sure there is something for Wall Street.
And I think more analysts have been invited besides them. Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. We've heard.
Yeah. You need to change the language.
Jones?
Start referring to Tesla. I'm sure ARK Invest is invited, right? Those guys.
Well, that's a whole other subject. We're getting to ARK Invest.
Yeah, we can get to that soon. You're right. Maybe they aren't. I saw that trans.
What? Fill me in. I don't know what you're talking about.
So ARK Invest announced that they've invested in OpenAI. I'll let you, Alexander, explain all this. And then OpenAI, or somebody started saying that OpenAI had a clause saying that anybody who invests in them, you cannot invest in other competing LLMs, which includes XAI. And then Elon replied saying, like, I don't know, something like surprise, like what?
He said, and I think he was not happy. And that was actually to my initial post where I posted that that ARK's venture fund. The venture fund is not a typical easy to trade fund. It's not like the ETFs they have. It's one of those funds where it's closed end, but you have a quarterly exit if you pre-announce it sufficiently early. It is a mix of private companies and still some public companies in it. At the launch, it was more public, but in the moment they are investing. And so their number one holding is SpaceX, and number two is one of these gaming companies. I don't remember. And since yesterday, Epic Games. And since yesterday, number three is OpenAI. So it must be about 5.5% of this fund. This fund is not huge, but it is a good example of how you would invest in venture capital if you would do a sort of closed-end funds for it. It's a nice experiment. I do believe, and this is not on this chart, that they're also invested in what was then called Twitter. Yes, there it is, X Corp. You see on the bottom. So they are in X Corp, and as X Corp has XAI, they're actually already in it. Okay, they're already in X Corp and in XAI. So good find, Herbert. That's exactly it.
Cern provided these, by the way.
Oh, good, Cern. So the first news yesterday morning was that they invested in OpenAI, and that's where Elon replied to me and said, obviously not so happy, because just half a day earlier, or even half a morning earlier, he was going on and about it. How OpenAI is the evil thing and should be avoided. And there is ARK. And I mean, there has been such a symbiotic relationship between ARK Invest and Tesla, right? And Elon. I mean, they have really helped each other as much as possible. Obviously, Cathie Wood was very early on the Tesla train, has defended it over the very difficult years from 2014 to 2019, and he's giving her lots of credit. I mean, there is not one earnings call where he doesn't refer to the models of ARK Invest. They were right so far. So they're playing that game. There've been a couple of spaces and all that, but I think he was genuinely annoyed yesterday when he heard that they're investing in OpenAI. And then came the news, both in the Financial Times and by Reuters. And that's why, I mean, I'm usually no friend of media, but I've looked at media long enough to understand that when it comes from two sources and so detailed with the exact list of things that Sam doesn't want to see in the same hands, and naming XAI as one of the companies where they obliged, presumably, their investors in the current funding round, which is with this valuation of about 155 billion, they have 6.6 billion now committed. So in that round, they obliged the people that wanted to participate to commit to not invest in those 6 companies, including XAI. And I mean, that by itself is already outrageous. I mean, it's one thing if you believe in OpenAI, but why in the world would you not be able to invest money in the competitors? So anyway, it's going to be a mess. I want to see how Cathie Wood maneuvers this. So she replied to that Financial Times article in a tweet saying that ARK Invest wasn't made aware of that and is not concerned by that. We'll see. I mean, this is going to be very political because there's obviously the big game or the big fight between Elon and Sam, and on the other side now Cathie Wood in the middle of this whole thing. So we'll see how it goes.
It's very concerning from my perspective. Could you imagine Elon telling everybody you cannot invest in any other automaker or any other AI company or such? In my view, Sam Altman is proving to be a very dangerous individual. First of all, I think he went down the regulatory route and trying to get regulation for AI, and that has the effect of limiting competition. And now that a number of key employees have left, and many of them starting their own ventures, to try to get venture capitalists to not fund those ventures, to me, is just very anti-competitive and very concerning. This is just another example of that. I'm glad that Cathie Wood seems undeterred. She also has a big investment in Anthropic in the fund. It's the 7th largest position, about 4% of the fund. And I think that was on Sam's list of companies to not invest in. So, it's a warning sign, I think, regarding Sam Altman.
And it's not.
It also shows he's scared.
Yeah. And just to add to that, so on top of the 6.6 billion they just raised, they have simultaneously yesterday obtained another 4 billion credit lines with the bank. I mean, $10 billion. And I mean, I know what they're buying, right? They're all buying the same NVIDIA chips, but this is GPUs. But this is crazy. We're really moving into, and at the same time, obviously, this transformation from a non-profit to now a B Corp. The whole thing is just doesn't look ethical at all. There's so many red flags happening at the same time.
Yeah, and I've heard rumblings too of his Asia trip, and where he's asking for $7 trillion in co-investment, and setting up 30 different fabs, and just there's a way to kind of like plan that out and have credibility in terms of like what you've done in the past and what you think you can partner and do with them in the future. But I'm not sure the credibility is there yet for that kind of investment. In fact, I know the credibility is not there. And so there's a lot of concerning warning signs. I agree with Cern and Alexandra's feedback on this. So it'd be interesting, something to keep an eye on in terms of this, and also to see, NVIDIA's in this round. I find that interesting. So we'll see. There's something I just don't get. Okay, the entire leadership team leaves this company. Literally the entire team in the last 6 to 8 months have left. So when you're going through an investment round, and I get it, there's people below these leaders, but there's been a lot of people below them that have left as well. So it's not clear to me that, and Sam seems to be a secretive person. There was, it was the whole thing of him being exited, a board ouster and then coming back. This whole thing is extremely strange. Everybody's under a gag order. Nobody's saying anything. It's all really, really, really strange. So I'll be interested to see how this plays out. But I don't know how I would be putting money into this next round, knowing that when this round probably started, there were 6 other leaders in the company that were there guiding it, and now they're gone. I just how is that zero impact? I don't get it.
At a moment where valuations skyrockets, which is also one of my concerns, because as you know, we've asked the board of Tesla to evaluate whether they want to invest into XAI, and I don't want these AI valuations out there being so skyrocketed. But I just come back to my point is, when you just raise 6 billion, why do you immediately need another 4 billion? So why did you not raise 10 billion, right? What is your logic of rather having credit lines with banks at a relatively still high interest rate environment?
No, I know what the answer is. It's 7%.
Me too. But isn't he I don't care
Sam
about
Altman's
shares.
$6 billion that he's going to get.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. That's exactly it.
So were the same people that you're talking about that left, were those people that were part of OpenAI when it was open prior to Microsoft?
Yeah.
Oh, those are. So then does that
And they stick through the whole drama with Microsoft with him, then came back to the old situation, and now left like a week before the big cashing in was going to happen, and this all becomes a B Corp, and where everybody has options and everybody has shares, and they just prefer to get out of their chair and say, I'm leaving now.
Gotcha. So they're getting a liquidity event essentially by this move, and they don't have to stay around for options on the further valuation. But they
could have, but they lost it all by leaving.
Mm-hmm.
They lost
so they
it
don't
all.
they don't get a windfall of money by leaving.
I mean, I don't know whether they get nothing, but they certainly get much less than in 3 months.
Gotcha. Thank you.
There you go. Says it all.
He certainly is cleaning up, and I mean, Greg Brockman, not sure he's going to be there for much longer.
He left and then came back.
Yeah.
Remember?
He's on leave. No, he's on leave now.
Yeah,
he's on leave now.
Gotcha. Lots of drama. Okay.
Yeah. So, Cern, we haven't heard from you in a bit. Tell us what you're thinking. You've done so much deep dives on all sorts of things, but obviously you did on the compute. You talked about the Robotaxi. What's the thing that you're most interested in these days?
Well, there's so many different things, but certainly on the Robotaxi event. And Herbert, actually, if you would indulge me for a minute, can we look at some of those other bingo cards?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Because we have Tesla royalty in our midst, and I think it's important to highlight that.
We have Tesla royalty in our midst?
We do.
We have 2 queens. I won't say who they are.
Wait, where did Alexandra go?
In addition to the first card, which is more serious, this is kind of a fun card. Go back to the royalty one, please.
This one?
There. Yep. Yeah. So for people like Herbert and myself and Xander, I'm assuming you're not going to the event?
No. I mean, if I could get in.
Yeah, well, I'd love to as well, but for some reason we've been left off the list. This is a Tesla royalty spotting game. So as we're watching the live feed, we can play this bingo game, and as you see these people on your TV screen, you can mark them off the list. So under the first box, we've got the Queen herself.
Ooh.
And then under L on the right side, we have Jeff. So 2 very prominent squares.
Yes.
As you know, the center square in bingo is a free one. There's Elon in the middle. But there's a few other, Tesla royalty that we expect that might be there.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Leno, maybe. Joe Rogan, maybe. May Musk, even. And right there, you could win that line if you got those 5 folks.
Not
I think I'm going to win the line on the left.
Which one? On the left, this one down here?
And I have
Yes.
some chewed Travis Axelrod and Scott Walker. I think that's the
Yes.
easiest one.
Yes. Yes.
But they have to see it
I
on
mean,
the TV,
Steven
right?
Spielberg is and Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, that is.
I do like the diagonal, the diagonal from my name. I like it, the green diagonal.
Yes.
Yeah.
JB though?
I
Do you
think
think JB will show up? This one?
and
It's
I
on the
think,
board.
I think there's a chance that the top one that unites us two is doable as well.
I actually think to win this particular game, you need a blackout for the entire card.
Okay.
Well, I lost already.
So there's that one, which is fun. And again, this is all to console us people that were not invited. The next one is even more fun, and it's the no-go game.
Why am I in the middle?
And Herbert is the most prominent no-go invitee.
That's not true. Come on.
I added myself.
That's
to
so
this list,
cute.
but there's a few others.
But Omar is going. You're
Omar's
wrong. Omar is
going.
going.
Yeah,
Oh,
John
so
Gibbs
I have
is
to update
going.
this every day.
Yeah.
Xander, I'll add your name to that square.
You should put one of these two down here as the most prominent no-goes.
No, it has to be you, Herbert.
I thought Gary got it. I thought Gary Black got in.
Well, he should be on the no-go list then.
Aw.
But yeah, there's some prominent names on there, like Bob Iger is not going to be there.
Right.
Gavin Newsom actually could be, but he probably should be on the no-go list.
Yes.
Gordon, Dan O'Dowd, Bill Gates, Taylor Swift, I think won't be there.
You didn't put President Trump there.
Well, I don't know if he would be on the no-go list.
He'd be on the go list. Yeah.
Yeah. It would also be, speaking of security, probably a bit of a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that one. And then finally, there's, for those of us that really are struggling for not being invited, there's the drink game. This is when you hear these phrases or these words, you drink something.
They're all by Elon.
Yeah.
Really anybody, but mostly Elon. By the way, these are all things that Elon has said or done in the past. So it's a bit of a, Elon likes to repeat himself.
Yeah.
The word nutty, GFY would be fun if you can come up with a way to say that during the presentation.
I can't read the bottom left. What's the bottom left?
If you ask the wrong question, the right answer is impossible. Yeah. So again, this is for those of us that are just really struggling about not being invited. I've created these games so that it is fun for us, at least if we're not going to be there, we can play along.
There could be another round coming, so just hang out. There's probably people. I think 10/6 was the date the RSVP by, so you could have some more people dropping.
Well, I stand ready to get in my Cybertruck and drive coast to coast.
I'm already in town. Yeah.
True.
Ooh. Good idea.
So Herbert, I don't know if that was what you're looking for, but that's what's been on my mind lately.
The fun part of Robotaxi Event. Thanks for bringing it back there. But yeah, let's just a quick look at this again, because I think that, excuse me, it's a wee robot. And so it's got to be a lot more about a Robotaxi Event. So I don't even think he'll wear a Robotaxi t-shirt. I think he's going to wear bot t-shirts. But
that brings me to the dress code. I really think we should all dress for the future.
Yeah.
Hard to do that.
So like
Halloween
Halloween costumes. Halloween costumes.
I think we should all do something special. I mean, if we just all show up in jeans and t-shirts, that's going to be a bit of a shit.
I'm coming as the bot from Lost in Space.
I don't know what that looks like.
I'm going to come as a yellow taxi.
You're going to come as a yellow taxi.
Can you insert that what Jeff just mentioned for us, people that don't have culture?
Oh, you mean that you're
like
not that
later.
old? That's what you mean.
Yeah. No.
So, by the way, Herbert, so what are we doing next week? Because usually we tape this on Thursday afternoon. That's obviously impossible. So,
we're going to be conflicted.
Yeah, I don't know yet what's going to happen next week. But the current plan would be that when I might still go despite not being invited, but we're going to do interviews of celebrities like you guys. Anybody's walking in like a red carpet into the event. and then just get your feedback. We'll obviously do a streaming of the actual event. And then afterwards, hopefully there can be some sort of pop-up place where I can interview people and get everybody's opinions, right? Get all the institutional analysts, get all you guys to come in and say, this is what happened. And then some parts of it, I'm sure you'll say, you were right, Herbert. And some parts are like, you're so dead on. Look, I got
And I do actually know that a couple of journalists that didn't get invited will be outside.
Okay, so there you go. That's what I am, I guess, a journalist. A media analyst.
You probably have more views than a lot of them, Herbert. So
Yeah. I mean, may as well tell them what they don't know, Herbert.
I will correct a lot of things if I can. So thank you guys very much. That was fun. Thank you, Cern, for joining us. Next week it's already coming out. So this is it. It's unbelievable that we're less than 7 days away from Tesla changing the game, changing the book. There you go. Thanks, everybody. Fun.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.
I've created a website that is the most comprehensive resource for the Tesla investor. Please check it out. Simply go to my website at herbertong.com.